And then in the process, I got stranded. I got so stranded and I was like, God, where are you? And then there was a total stranger who came to my aid. I mean, I'm surprised I can still say this smiling. It was very terrible. There was a total stranger. She came to my aid and she was so helpful. And sorry, I'm going to cry, but can we stop? So I'm Yajimano Paredu, and there's this scripture that has always really manifested in my life. It's always felt so real to me. And this verse hits really hard close to 17 years ago. And it's from Luke chapter 6, verse 38. It's a verse that we all know, but I'd love to read it out. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. And so this scripture, I mean, usually we get to hear it when it's time for offertory at church and all of that. But in my life, this scripture, when I chanced on it, taught me that giving is really not about money. Giving includes money, of course, but there's a lot in us that we ought to be intentional about giving. I resolved 17 years ago to be a giver. And in this context, it implied that I'm going to be blessed to be a blessing. And so I started from the little things where I'd sit in a trusky and then see a mother juggling 3 kids and I would offer to take one. Or I would be going to board a taxi and then I would realize someone looks like they can't pay and then I would offer to pay. I started doing really random acts of kindness. And then I added a morning routine. I'll tell God that, dear God, bless me and let me be a blessing to others. Because God, who we emulate, is a giver. For God so loved us. Well, what did he do because he loved us? He gave his only begotten son. And so I started by giving to random people, to strangers. Sometimes it's money, sometimes it's advice, sometimes it's a listening ear. In my field of work, I decided to give my all, work really hard. When I got married, I decided to really wake up and ask, what does my partner need? I mean, we have grown into a generation that prioritizing taking. We prioritize taking from others. We always want to, well, what do you bring to the table? I hear that a lot lately. What do you bring to the table? What do you have to offer? But growing up, all the things that I have benefited from, I'm able to sit and realize that it came as a result of the giving that I did. Giving has so many ripple effects. Most of them you would not see coming. A few months ago, I went on a trip and so many unexpected things happened. Things that I think I'm surprised I'm smiling about right now, but so many unexpected things happened. And then in the process, I got stranded. I got so stranded and I was like, God, where are you? And just like I think I used to do for strangers, a total stranger came to my aid. I mean, I'm surprised I can still say this smiling. It was very terrible. There was a total stranger. She came to my aid and she was so helpful. She drove for about 3 hours just to get me from where I was stranded. She accommodated me. She literally provided my every need till the day I had to leave the country. She took days off work to help me shop. She brought me to the airport. She made sure I was home safe. I mean, she was literally an angel. When I got home, I was asking my husband that if I call her and she doesn't exist, I'll know that God sends me an angel. And so there are times that you would feel like you're giving too much or people are going to people are taking advantage of your giving, or you're giving and you're not even seeing anything back. But trust me, God will come through even in ways that you least expected it. And again, givers never ever run dry. I mean, there are several times you would find out your old schoolmate, someone calls you, reaches out to you randomly on Facebook. Sometimes you get a day and then you have like 3 or 4 requests. Of course, sometimes it looks like people are taking advantage of you. It looks like people are coming back all the time. It looks like you need private time to yourself and you're always having to give counsel and be there for others. But really, you're following the example of God if you decide to give out all you have, leaving nothing out before you exit this world. And so through this message, I would plead that most of us would decide from today to give intentionally, to give sacrificially, to give generously. And I think that one of the things we need to add is that giving must be hidden. Let's take away the whole culture that says that you need to put a camera on you because you have to go and make a donation and all of that, because I'm a living testimony of what giving does.